Welcome back to Hotties. This week we are going to talk dopamine and dopamenus.
Dopamenu.
Stay tuned.
Audie
Hotties.
Hotties. Yeah, welcome to the Audie Hottie podcast. Here we are.
I'm McKenna,
And I'm Bree.
and we are the hosts of Audie Hotties.
Yeah.
Yeah, podcast where we are just talking all about divergence in life,
Shooting shit.
as we always do. Today I wanted to talk dopamine.
Yeah.
I've definitely been lacking it lately, you
It's
know?
the
Um,
season.
'Tis the season. So we started this series kind of talking about like the winter blues series where we wanted to prepare for winter time and we talked about supplements, we talked about hygge, and now we're going to talk about making dopamine menus. But first I wanted to kind of talk about what dopamine is and kind of like how it relates to ADHD. I am in no means an expert.
But I'm sure lots of people just hear dopamine in the news or like in people's feeds or whatever and are like, yeah, sure, I need dopamine. What is that?
Right. It's
Yeah.
such a buzzword. It really is. What I understand it is it's a neurotransmitter. So it's like how your neurons kind of communicate with each other. And there's no research that what I found that connects it to ADHD. It's more of like hypotheses that
Oh,
haven't necessarily been tested or can't actually be tested. That's kind of fuzzy.
okay.
A lot of people with ADHD find that like dopamine seeking activities help to regulate them and that they almost don't experience as much of like their neurodivergence if they're like pouring into dopamine seeking activities. So
So if your
it's all a thing.
dopamine is low in ADHD or
That's like the hypothesis, but they can't test it. And I don't know if it's just
gotcha.
because they don't have equipment or money.
I mean, we still don't know much about the brain really in
It's
terms of how
so
much brain
true.
there is to know.
So there's definitely some books that I'll recommend in like the little synopsis of this episode of different books that kind of talk about ADHD
Awesome.
and dopamine. Scattered Brains is one of them. There's like I think it's called Dopafix, but I'll
Hmm.
put them in the comments and get them all organized.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But yeah, so it's basically like a thing in our brain that is part of the reward system. It's part of pleasure. And so like think about endorphins after you exercise and that good feeling that
Mm.
you get. That's what dopamine is described as to me. Have you heard it like similar or different?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely on those like dopamine seeking things is where I think I've heard about it the most in relation to ADHD, like getting that rush from shopping or,
Yeah.
getting something new, doing something exciting.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. So there's also, ways that like you can overextend your dopamine or
Mm.
like need it more and more in your life. And like it's kind of this phenomenon where people are so used to doing like adrenaline seeking activities that they can get addicted to like
Mm.
having dopamine in their systems. And that's when you can find yourself like not being able to relax or not being able to kind of calm your system down and always seeking some sort of like external stimuli, whether it's petting a dog, like something as simple as that, or going on a run, or snacking can be dopamine seeking. So
You've got some really great positive examples. But does this also relate to addiction
yeah.
and seeking out other things? Okay.
Yeah, dopamine is huge and like drug addiction, alcoholism,
Shopping addiction, gambling.
shopping addiction, sex addiction. It's that thing that I think people just search for, you
Mm.
know? And I've kind of realized that, like, as I was looking and making my dopamine menu, which we'll talk about, I think a lot of my dopamine has been like based on social media and what people
Mm.
say is like enjoyable for them,
Right.
like self-care things and whatnot, when in reality, like, I wonder if more of my dopamine comes from like more tailored self-care tasks. And we'll
Mm,
talk more about that. But that was something I was noticing of like, huh, there's like a trend of how people get dopamine
yeah.
and
I've
all of
definitely
that
noticed that
stuff.
too, of things that like should make me feel better or
Yeah.
should make me feel a certain way, and
Yeah.
then not necessarily being the things that release that much. And
Exactly.
it's
Like,
hard when you find something that does a lot, and then you're like trying to compare it to things that do just a little, which definitely comes from some of that difficulty sensing our internal state. Because it's
yes.
really hard to tell when something is like a little bit of dopamine in a good way versus like something that's like, wow, dopamine.
Overload.
Like you were saying, look at the adrenaline rushes, like you like,
Yeah.
okay, that's a high high, but where's the like in
Yes.
between things? Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel like you've gone through that in the past of just like feeling out your dopamine hits and like
Mm.
what you do want to have sensation wise or what you don't, or is it still something you're working on?
It's definitely still something I'm working on the nuances of. I
Yeah.
think there's two main things that stand out to me. One would be thinking that I'm supposed to get a dopamine rush from exercise, and I do not experience that. If anything, I experience like I don't know if it's just autonomic or what, but like after
Yeah.
exercise, like a real down, a real like
Interesting.
slump, needing to lay down and like rest and
Yeah.
not, I don't get that like high that people say they get.
Hmm.
So I think that definitely varies person to person a lot. And then the other thing that I would say is I always relate back to how I feel when I dance or perform or like ice skate, that kind of thing, where I'm feeling like that's where I feel it the most. And I'm
Got
like,
it.
oh, like I feel really like alive and like
Yeah.
energetic and filled.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I kind of have to relate it back to that and be like, okay, is that a similar feeling, but just on a lesser extent? Like, kind of helps me like
Mhm.
ground in what I'm trying to think of. Mm.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, and it's almost like it's a different type of movement too. And maybe it's not even the movement in general, but it's like either the environment that you're dancing in, or like the music too, or
The
whatever that.
creativity that it lets out. Yeah.
Yeah, like the
Mhm.
creative aspect of it too, I wonder. Because when you're talking working out and it's depleting you, are you talking about like running? Are you talking about going to the gym? Like what?
Yeah, I'm not generally
Yeah,
talking about like general movement, more so like the specifically working out
got
things that you
it.
think of.
Yeah.
So like dance for me is more like a passion thing. Like it's I've always loved doing it since I was a kid. So
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
So much fun. I love to dance.
Yeah. So that's how I feel around horses too. I mean, I always
Yeah.
get that like calm. It's kind of a different, I guess, because dance is more like a high, a
Yeah.
dopamine high,
Yeah.
whereas like horse riding is more like a like leveling almost. Yeah.
So interesting that you bring that up because I was kind of curious about like, well, what is dopamine seeking versus like regulation strategies? Like, what
Mm.
are the differences in those two? And I do think that there are differences. I wonder if dopamine has its hand in regulation, like where you do get dopamine. However, like the tactic to get that type of dopamine is different. And I wonder if like that is actually the dopamine seeking we should be looking towards,
Right.
if that makes sense. Because, like,
Yeah.
I was writing my list and noticing that, like, huh, a lot of these things that I feel like make me feel good are actually a lot of like regulation strategies,
Mm.
not necessarily like the classic dopamine seeking things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean that could be an important thing to learn too, is the distinction between those two things
yeah,
and what feeling you're looking for.
yeah.
Because again, like I go back to the addiction portion of things because
Hmm.
I know that like people say like addiction runs in families, like you have highly addictive personalities, that kind of thing. But then I also wonder like how much of that is overlap in undiagnosed neurodiversity,
Totally.
where you don't have regulating strategies, you're not taught any of these things. So instead you're seeking the accessible dopamine that
Yeah.
is the escape into alcohol, gambling, shopping, whatever the thing is.
And I wonder if it's like this difference of like numbing out versus like being
Mhm.
present in your body. And I really do wonder if like dopamine has to do in both areas and if it's not even dopamine that we're looking for. You know what I mean? How it
Yeah.
just like
Mhm.
maybe that's the buzzword, but maybe it's more about like coping versus like regulating strategies. Who knows? And
Mhm.
maybe dopamine has its place in both.
Yeah.
But no, that's so true to think of like addiction and you're right that there's so many. I think addiction has is like hand in hand with neurodiversity in terms of just like that lack of dopamine that people say that we have and having access to it. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's interesting to kind of think about. Would you? So, this is what I was thinking
Mhm.
because I, of course, left my dopamine menu at my house. On the way here, I remembered that I left it right on my countertop.
Oops.
So, would you like to share yours?
Let me
And
bring it up to the camera
okay,
real
bring it up
quick.
to the camera. And Bree, do you have yours organized in a certain way?
I do have mine organized in a certain way, so it
Cool.
also has a bunch of cute little stickers all over it in case you want to see
Adorable.
that. So mine, I kind of sort of click with the way that it's organized because I read about it, but it's also not
Yeah.
really like at first I was like, this is really weird. Like, why are we making this into actually like a menu?
That's what I came across, and I thought it was really weird. It's like
It does
organized
feel
like
really weird.
starters, main course, dessert. It's like, okay.
So I did organize mine like that because that's what it was
Yeah.
like. And I read a bunch about it and was like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, this makes sense, I guess.
Because there's different reasons, right? Like
Yeah,
one
there's
is
different
5 minutes
categories.
and one is okay. So what are the different categories?
So I have just four of the categories. I think I took something, or no, I have five categories. I think I took something out though, but I can't remember what it is. Anyways, there's starters, which is supposed to be something that is like really fast, something you can do quickly that just like gets you into that mode of like
Mm.
thinking about your body and that kind of thing. Mains, which are bigger things that you could do but are accessible. So like maybe you need to go somewhere to do them, but it's not like it's going to take all day or something like that.
Okay.
Sides are, I don't have very many things in sides. But I think that was basically like things that you can do kind of along with other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like what's the word? Multitasking.
Yeah, multitasking type
Yeah.
things. Yeah. Desserts are things that are like maybe like those bad habit things like scrolling or something like that,
Okay.
where you've got like it's good to indulge a little bit, but you maybe shouldn't do them all the time. Like not the first choice
Oh my
for feeding
God.
yourself from the dopamine. And then there's also specials, and that's like things that are much bigger that take like more time, more investment, more money, whatever the thing is, but you don't do them often. They're kind of a special add-on type thing.
Okay. Very interesting. That makes sense the way it's categorized and also weird.
Yeah, I
It's
know,
like
it's
related
totally
to your
weird.
food menu, but
I know, I don't know why when I heard like dopaminu, I did not in any way put together like menu as menu. Like it's
I
like
didn't either. I just literally wrote a list of all of my things that I was like, oh, this brings me dopamine, whatever. And then I like looked up examples online and sure enough, all of
all
them
more.
looked like a menu. I was like, oh,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
weird, but I guess makes sense.
Yeah. Did you end up organizing yours in any way?
No,
No, you just have a big list.
I just have a list, which is one of my making lists is part of my dopamine.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love making
I
lists.
don't remember if I actually put it on there, but it is one of my things too.
Yeah.
So on starters, things that are kind of quick, I have dance for one song,
Mm.
play a game,
Hmm.
stretch or do some yoga,
Hmm.
sit in my swing, which unfortunately I had at my old house, but I have not put here, so sadly cannot do that right now.
That's a bummer.
But yeah,
Was it like a
I have like a one of the like porch swing kind where you sit in the
oh,
like base
lovely.
of it,
Like a
and
hammock kind of.
I had it
Cool.
on my porch, my front
Nice.
porch before, so I could just sit out front.
Nice.
Eating a snack,
Hmm.
cuddling a pet, checking on my plants. I put journal on there, but honestly, I never go to journaling. I think I just put that there because other people do that.
Right?
Yeah.
Part of the dopamine fad.
Yep. And then I added one later. I wrote in as be upside down. Because I
Oh,
find if I like just sit in a chair and like hang upside down for a few minutes, I feel really good.
that's so cool. Huh.
And then mains, my bigger things, I have roller skating, going to the
Mm.
gym, taking a shower, doing 30 minutes of weeding. I like to weed in my yard and it feels like really rewarding.
Do you really like to weed?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're like the only person I
I
know
mean,
that
like
loves
it's
to
annoying.
weed.
It's annoying that it needs to be done. I don't like that it needs to be done,
Okay.
but it is very rewarding to just sit there and get them all out.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well,
oh,
and
look
like
at
the
all pretty.
before and after too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I used to like to get high and weed on weed was like
Weeding time.
it's
That's
a weeding time.
perfect.
Yep. Except that worked really well, except one time. a like door-to-door salesman walked up while I was waiting. He was trying to talk to me, and I was like, huh? I was like, no, I don't need.
I don't know what you're talking
Don't
about.
talk to me right now.
Yeah,
I'm too high.
go away.
Uh, reading a book, talking to a friend,
Mm,
making
yeah.
to-dos and lists,
Yes,
going out on a date, or going out on my paddleboard.
fun.
Those are main things.
Nice.
And then sides, I just had lighting a candle
Mm,
and playing with the fidget. So
nice.
things I could do along with things.
Yeah.
And desserts are social media. TikTok, video games, ordering takeout and eating a sweet treat, an
Nice.
actual dessert on the dessert menu.
I mean, makes sense.
Yeah. And then specials are much bigger things. So like going for a hike, going
Mhm.
camping, go to a museum or a show or something that I like, getting a new outfit,
Cute.
or getting my nails done.
Ooh, I love all of those. Thank you for
I picked
sharing.
up a menu and I made it all pretty and put little silly guys on it. It's got a rainbow narwhal and a unicorn.
It's so cute. Did you
Clip
do this
art.
as like part of a class or you just made it on your own and just made it pretty
I just
and
made it pretty. I was like, I need to look at it. I need to want to look at it if I
yeah,
am gonna have it. So,
super
mm,
cute.
yeah.
I'm like realizing I should have one of these at work, maybe
Oh,
just for like little reminders
that'd be
of
super
like,
handy.
oh, I need a 1 minute break. What can I do?
Mm.
Hmm. And I also have a printer and laminator there.
Hey.
That's what I'm making it at work.
Yes, print and laminate.
I agreed with a lot of yours. It kind of evoked some new ones for my list.
Mm.
But also this concept of like, I actually really like how that's organized because when I think about dopamine and what I've historically done in the past is like indulge in all of like, you have as the desserts things, but the things that
Hmm.
maybe shouldn't be done often or are more of like a splurgy thing to do where I kind of banked on that to be most of my dopamine.
Mm.
So, for example, like going to coffee shops, going to Target, doing shopping, where I'm like really trying to live not like I'm trying to lessen my consumption
Mm.
overall. So
And
I haven't
every time you leave the house costs money.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. So I think that like historically that's what my dopamine has looked like, but I have really changed that in the last 2 years
Mm.
intentionally. And it's been kind of interesting because I actually feel like I'm able to access a calm state easier now than I
Mm.
was when I was like relying on those types of big things, like going out of the house, spending money. Um, so it's
That's
just a
really
thought.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like reflecting on that. I've grown in one way, but I have dancing as one of mine, lighting candles and or setting the mood.
Mm.
So now that it's kind of cold outside and we've done the Hygge episode, I've kind of leaned into making my space cozy.
Mm.
And that's been kind of fun to, start my evening with like flipping on the heater, putting on some candles.
Right,
I
turning down the lights. Like, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I love listening to music and just having it on in the background in general. And I just got my record player working again and have some
Oh,
like new records. And that's been really joyful to just have on in the background as I'm doing my day.
cool.
Yeah. I do have snacking on here. I feel like that's also been a huge thing of like that I used to do a lot was just like looking at food as a dopamine reward.
Mm.
And I think that as I've like healed my relationship with my body, healed my relationship with food, I've moved more away from that and more looked at food as nourishment rather than dopamine. But I mean, a good bagel and cream cheese is great. And also like my food allergies have been very much um deterrent of help of that like not being
Mm.
a dopamine seeking activity anymore because I'm like now trying to avoid gluten and dairy and eggs as much as I can just for like some reasons of for health. And so because I can't really like enjoy what I'm eating, I can't look at eating as dopamine anymore. It's just
Yeah.
really interesting how things have kind of changed
Well,
on a
once you get
needs
that,
basis.
yeah, once you get that perspective of like, oh, this is harming me,
Hmm.
you really can't see the like positive, like, oh, it's so enjoyable right now either. Then you're like, I'm gonna suffer later because now I know it's this and not just, Why is my body hurting?
Well, I wish that I had that more in my brain sometimes because sometimes I will look at the instant gratification of like eating an
And be like,
allergen.
oh well.
Yeah. Like, for example, I went out
That's
with
so
a,
human.
it is so humid.
So human. I was
There's no moral issue wrong with it. It's just that I like have a sore throat the next
yeah.
day. Like, because I had a bagel and cream cheese yesterday with a friend, which is dairy and gluten. And even though it was the best bagel and cream cheese I've ever had in my life, I am like super hurting today. Like, my throat hurts, my back hurts really bad because I get joint pain. So it's just interesting because I mean, it's still bringing me joy.
Oh, that bagel.
It's risks and benefits, I
Yeah,
guess.
exactly.
But I can't do that all the time. Like, I
Hmm.
can't rely on that anymore because I refuse to be in chronic pain. And
Yeah.
I have found a key to unlock that reality. So,
Yeah.
does that make sense?
Hmm. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. My next one is driving and singing.
Oh, that's fun. I like
I
that.
love to just go on drives and sing. And if I'm not going
Mm.
anywhere, especially when I lived with roommates, I would just kind of like leave the house
Oh yeah, need some
for,
alone space.
yeah,
Hmm.
just to drive around the neighborhood or up to Sauvie Island or somewhere in nature, especially if like it's the fall with leaves changing or
Hmm.
the springtime with flowers. Yeah, it's a fun activity.
Oh.
That's for sure. Paint by numbers, which I think I've talked about
Mm.
before on the podcast, but it's like this really easy activity where it's literally like a canvas that has all the numbers separated and you paint them accordingly. And it's just kind of like a mindless activity. But then when you're done with it, it's like this beautiful product and you
Yeah.
don't have to put any creativity into it. It's great.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, so this next portion, I want to talk about cleaning.
Oh.
Do you ever find cleaning to be a dopamine seeking
I don't know if I like
activity?
the result. Like,
Yes.
because I need the clean environment and like the result of feeling good about the space. And that is definitely a feel good.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of come back to as well. Kind of like what you were talking about with weeding,
Mm.
I have found with cleaning, and it's like a deeper reward than just dopamine. I feel like it's like,
Yeah.
or it's true dopamine. We'll never know.
Yeah.
We'll never know the
It's
definition.
dopamine plus having a purpose. Yeah.
Exactly. And also like taking care of yourself and
Mhm.
taking care of your space. And I have really found that even doing a quick task like wiping down the counters can bring me a lot of like
Mm.
satisfaction, or just doing like a quick vacuum around my apartment. Or today I swept my path outside my house because it's like full of fucking pine needles and I hate them and they're the bane of my existence and they're
Uh,
all over my apartment right now
yeah.
because we track them in. So I finally swept the front path and I felt so good afterwards. It was so
Yeah.
rewarding.
Love that.
So,
That makes me think though, because the that and one other thing make me puzzles. I was thinking of when you were talking about
ah,
paint by numbers, it reminds me of puzzles where you can kind of like get
yes.
that like mindless time that feels a little rewarding and
Yes.
yeah. But my problem is with puzzles and with cleaning
Uh-huh.
is I have to be very careful not to fall into the trap of like doing the ADHD continuing tasks thing. So we talked about
Hmm.
before setting timers, and like that's part of why some of mine, like the weeding, I included a time limit on them
I like that you
because,
did that.
yeah, because if I don't and I just set it as like a I'm trying to finish this whole task,
Yeah.
then it goes from being a dopamine reward to being like frustration and being like, oh, hyper focus and then not being a positive thing anymore.
Right.
So I
So
have to
you
be
have
really
like a
careful.
15-10 minute time limit so you don't like exhaust yourself.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, especially if you like continue to seek dopamine as you're like doing the activity and just feel like, oh, I want to get it done. I want to get it done, rather than like just having it be an activity for regulation purposes, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And then you keep
Yeah.
getting yourself into more projects and
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, I've had to be really careful about that in general, just as my like energy has ebbed and flowed with like mental health stuff, physical health stuff, and like I feel like so many of these tasks are actually like really hard for me to initiate sometimes.
Hmm.
Like driving, going out on a drive can be exhausting these days. Any sort of the cleaning tasks, the dancing. So I think that the way I would organize my dopamine next time would be like almost by spoon theory. Have you
Hmm.
heard of spoon theory?
Yeah, I think we talked about
Yeah.
it on here once before.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Great. You all know about spoon. So maybe like low spoon activities, higher spoon activities, because
Yeah.
I have found like you have hiking as one of your
Specialty things.
specialty
Yeah.
things, and I would have that as like a high spoons activity that like,
Mhm.
oh my God, I would love to be able to hike every day, but like logistically it just wouldn't work
Yeah.
out. So to have that as like a reminder that I can do that on days where I'm off or days where I have a lot of energy or a low work day, but like a free afternoon. So yeah, I don't know. There's lots of activities like that. And traveling. I feel like traveling is the ultimate dopamine hit.
Yeah, seeing new things.
Yeah. And as a Sagittarius, I just like want to go everywhere and see all the things, and like it's just not possible. So
Yeah.
I think I really like the way yours is organized in terms of just like, oh, this is something you can do all the time, or like,
Yeah.
special some of the times. So I have my dopamine list, and then I actually did a regulation list as well
Oh, cool.
because I feel like regulation techniques also give me dopamine.
Okay.
So I have that I'll change my clothes.
Mm.
So that really does reset my body and just I feel clean and just reset. Showering, especially in the wintertime, I will usually take a shower when I get home from work to reset for the evening. Petting Frankie,
Oh.
she's a little ball of dopamine. Chewing gum.
Oh, interesting.
This is a new one for me that I have started doing at work, and it actually helps a lot. So, if you have any sort of sensory seeking taste-wise, try gum. Weighted blanket. So, being under the weighted blanket, I have found very regulating. This one I will usually only do at home, but it is putting on my headphones and then putting on music at the top volume.
Mm.
It's the best. And I think
Yeah,
that is actually
drown
one
things
of
out.
my
Mm.
favorite regulating techniques, but I also don't do it a lot because of like the damage it can cause for ear health.
Yeah,
I know, I went
yeah.
to, I did a no, it wasn't stupid. I learned about audiology when I was thinking about just my career in general. I took speech pathology classes and audiology classes, and I actually really wanted to be an audiologist. So I learned a lot about ear and hearing health. And
Oh,
yeah, you're not supposed to like blast
yeah.
music. And also, we like tested our hearing a lot, and I have so much hearing loss,
Oh my gosh.
probably damage of like going to concerts and blasting music in my ears. So again, it's one of
I
those
imagine I
things.
would too. I definitely still can hear like all the high pitches and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
definitely have a lot of like range, but probably the like quality of certain sounds is probably not great.
Well, there's like it's more that goes into it too of like there is the frequency, but there's also the pitch, but there's also like
Mhm.
the neurodivergence of it all in auditory processing. Like there's so much nuance that goes into it. So
Yeah.
I try not to do it often, but I really do love the sensation. And then I saw on TikTok the other day someone was like, the people that drive with like their music at full volume, basses blasting, yeah, they're probably autistic. I was like, oh yeah.
They don't just like music. They
Yeah.
probably just yeah, because the bass is definitely a big part of it
It
too.
is, it is. And it's so funny because I don't like when I blast my music, I actually turn the bass all the way down,
Mm,
but I still love to have the music high. It's
yeah,
very strange.
interesting. I'm the opposite. I'm like bass almost take over the whole song. That's where I want it to be.
All about
I
that
like the
bass.
body vibration.
Fun.
Mm.
Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh, today I tried out a vibrating plate.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever been on one? Ah, it's not a vibrator,
No.
vibrating plate.
It's like one of those ones that looks like a weight loss thing, but they're actually used for a lot of things.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I've
was.
been on them
You
before.
have?
Mhm.
They're amazing.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I am allergic to vibration though, so it sounds ridiculous,
I'm not laughing at
and
you.
it kind of is ridiculous, but That's pretty much what we figured out because I have urticaria, which we've talked about
Right.
before, where I'm allergic to like the heat and the cold.
Yeah.
But the
Sensation.
heat is like not totally sure that it's heat or if it's the vibration portion of things because it's usually like when I'm doing high intensity workouts, like running and stuff, and it will like so the theory is like maybe the vibration of my skin is irritating it,
Oh,
but
it
also
makes
like
sense.
handheld massagers, like the massage guns.
Hmm.
I can only do like maybe like 10 seconds
Really?
anywhere before I start getting itchy, just so itchy, like
Mm.
gotta like stop and yeah, it does not feel good. Yeah, so fun facts.
Fun fact of race.
Yep.
Wow, that's surprising. But also, I wonder if it is heat because vibration is like,
Creates heat too.
doesn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah, huh. Interesting.
Yep.
Well, you probably would not do well with a vibrating plate.
No, not for long. Not for long at least.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get one because it was just like very regulating.
Mm,
And they say it does really well for lymphatic
yeah,
drainage.
yeah.
So
Also
we'll
for
see.
tone regulation,
Oh,
so if you're high or low
interesting.
tone. Yeah, they use it a lot
Right.
with kids with cerebral palsy and then also kids with Down syndrome to help them like bring up or lower their tone. Mm,
Interesting.
yeah.
The more you know.
Speaking of random work things that are regulating, I have a new set of twins that are only like 4 or 5 months old, and they were preemies too, so they were really tiny. And we got through like 15 minutes of session, and then it just like fell asleep in my arms, like holding little babies while they sleep.
Isn't it the
It's so
best?
regulating.
I held my friend's 3-month-old today, and I feel like a new person of just like, I held her for like 3 hours while she just napped. She just slept in my arms, and I just, there is something so sweet about holding babies.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it so much. Yeah. Babies.
Babies.
Um, yeah, that was pretty, well, I have a couple more regulating things, but they're kind of boring. Just drinking water and walking. So,
Walking, that's a huge one.
hmm
Isn't there something about the like cyclical
hmm
nature of walking that's supposed to assist in like regulating dopamine and stuff?
It's the bilateral stimulation. So it's from the same concepts that's like EMDR, where
Right.
you're being shown two different things at once while you are doing another activity, like
Hmm.
thinking or processing. I'm starting EMDR, so I'm learning a
Oh,
lot
okay.
about it. But yeah, there's something about walking. It takes so much motivation for me to go on a walk though,
Mm,
especially like in the
in the
wintertime.
cold, yeah. Blech.
Well,
We should go for a walk tomorrow. I didn't ask you what you're
I know. I'm
doing.
going on a hike
Oh,
tomorrow.
nice.
Yeah, we're gonna look for mushrooms.
Oh, yeah.
Mushroom foraging, that can be on the dopamine
There you
menu.
go. And get on your specials.
It can be on the specials. Although I have to say, did I tell the podcast that like I cooked the mushrooms and it really wasn't that good? Did I say
I think
that?
you mentioned it to me, but I think it was after.
Oh, yeah, I went mushroom hunting and gathered chanterelle. Gathered chanterelles. I sound so like
Chocolates.
pretentious. But they are like pretty much the only one that I was comfortable with eating at the time. Like now I
Hmm.
know a little bit more about mushrooms, but it was just a really interesting process and like super dopamine seeking because you're looking through the forest for these like little golden nuggets, and then you find one and you only find like 10 over 2 hours. So it's
Wow.
just this like, it's so fun. But, I went with someone else and they were like, you can take them all home with you. I was like, great, I have like 2 pounds of mushrooms. What am I going to do with them? I guess I'll eat them. So I made dinner for us. And it was such an interesting process because they had so much water inside the chanterelles.
Oh.
So first of all, that was just a weird, icky part of things. And then I made risotto, which I usually make with just like regular cremini mushrooms from the store. And so I just subbed the chanterelles in, and it wasn't anything special or
Okay.
different. Like it was kind of fun to be like, oh, I foraged the mushrooms that I'm
Yeah.
eating, but like it was way less satisfying than I
You were
anticipated.
hoping.
So
Oh.
I don't know. Next time I'll probably just like take pictures of mushrooms rather than
Mm.
actually foraging them. But it's kind of
Mm.
funny. Yeah, I've been on a
Oh.
couple of like mushroom hikes, or I guess I just went on one mushroom hike yesterday with a guide, and they showed us different mushrooms and like how to identify them
Mm.
and whatnot. So it's more of a hyperfixation than like I think a dopamine activity.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
know. Or maybe dopamine has to do with it.
Novelty, I mean, that definitely brings
Exactly.
dopamine.
Yeah. So it's just something fun to do over the winter. But
Yeah.
I do love to cook, but that would also be on like a high end, high
Mhm.
spoon type of thing. But it's just kind of fun to create a little dope menu and have it be somewhere where you can see it easily. And
Mhm.
especially as we go into the darker months and the more low energy days of figuring out like, oh, what are some low energy activities that can help me to feel good? Or if I do have a day off and have more energy, what's something grand that I could do that can bring me dopamine for the rest of the year?
I also find myself looking to it and glancing through and being like, oh, I haven't done that in a long time. Like I haven't gone roller skating
Mm.
in months or whatever. Like, and then it can help me remember things that I could try to do and get out of the house or do whatever for. So
That makes a lot of
yeah.
sense. Like
Yeah.
a little
Things that
reminder
you
of
wouldn't
what
think
you
about.
love.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And even if you only make it and then you don't use it long term, but you've just made it the one time, at least it's like calling forward things to think about and like
Hmm.
how your brain accesses what you could do in those moments.
Hmm.
Because the hardest thing is when you're low, figuring out something to do. And like,
Yes, we need easy access around here.
I would always find myself being like, what can I do? I feel like there's like 100 things I could do, but I can't pick.
Yeah, decision paralysis is
Mhm.
so real.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good to get it organized, have it categorized however you'd like.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe if you're someone who struggles more with getting out of the house, you could also organize it in a way that's like things that are inside, things that are outside, things that are out of the house. Like,
I love that idea.
yeah.
Yeah, and even thinking through like different ways that you are overstimulated in your day, like these are activities that I can do alone, or these are activities that I can do with people,
Mhm.
or thinking of it that way. And just, I think it's important to tailor it to what works best for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Or even bringing like finances into it. Like, here's free things I can do. Here, I
Mhm.
have like $50 to spend. Here's how I would do, like, I go to a spa day or something. I used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I like
I like it too.
that.
All right, well that was all I had for today.
Yeah, and sorry again for no episode again last week. I don't know what's been happening lately. Last week we lost it. It just disappeared. Before
Yeah.
recording, just gone. We're
Well,
talking about politics, and I think the world didn't want us to talk about politics. So no episode last week, but
we can blame it on Mercury in retrograde this week,
okay,
but
sure.
so oh, okay, sure.
Okay, sure.
Happens.
Yep. Well, guys, be unapologetically you this week.
Find your joy and seek dopamine. I don't know.
And dopamine drum is no. I was trying to think of something else that was like dopamine, dopam.
Dope and don't do dope.
What's your dope?
Isn't dope a
Weed
drug?
high instead.
We
Yeah.
find your joy
Be unapologetically you.
and go smoke a joint. The real,
I
the
mean, that's
real regulation tactic. Bye, hotties.
bye.
Thanks for joining us this week. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music.
Please like, subscribe, and leave us a review. We could use some of those. If you want to get pictures that go along with our episodes and follow along, join us on Instagram and TikTok.
Thanks,
Thanks,
hotties.
hotties.